Good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon to those who are joining us virtually. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here in sunny Nandi, Fiji, and it's early morning for those of us who are joining from Europe. But we'd like to welcome you all to the official launch of our FORI project in the Pacific. Before we begin, I'd like to invite the PIFON chairman, Mr. Afamasanga Taleafoa, to provide some welcome remarks.
Thank you, Kyle. I'd like to acknowledge, first of all, the presence of some of our very special guests here with us. We have here in person Mr. Matos Lopez. I hope you got the names right now. Of the EU delegation in the Pacific, in the regional office in the Pacific. And then we have Sekiusa Tupuna, of course, one of ours, who is here for IFAD, is the regional coordinator, the Pacific for IFAD. We also have, I think, we're supposed to be with us on the internet. Let me get the names right because some of these names are new. Mr. Olivia Gomez, I think I have it on the program, who is Secretary General of the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. With us, I'm sorry, I'm very glad with this. Welcome, sir. And then I have Alicia Musumara, who is the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of AgriCord. I think I have one more there, but I think, well, of course, I have our own board members here, and then one or two others. Mr. Kyle Spice, of course, who is our executive director of PFON, and members of your staff, and other invited guests, not only here. I see some of them in the room now, but also there will be some on virtual with us. It's my great pleasure to extend a word of welcome to you all to this launch of a new project, which will be, I think, in short, if I can summarize it, it's quite a long name, is to do with research and invention, and to breadfruit, and it's farmer-led research into breadfruit in the Pacific. The breadfruit, of course, is one of the staples in this part of the world. The word for it in my country, in Samoa, is ulu. And I think you'll find that word right throughout the Pacific in slightly different versions. But it's you'll see the word ulu or guru or some other forms. That goes to show the way it is ulu or breadfruit or whatever you call it in your country is written into the Pacific way of life. That's not only a staple food, it's written into our language, into the culture. It's there. It's one of those crops. I think I would call them the trees of life. The two crops, coconuts and breadfruit, I think are truly trees of life in the Pacific. They provide nutritious food, both of them, and they are easy to cultivate. They are free of diseases and pests, and they just grow. And you know, they fit perfectly the way of life, of the style of life in the Pacific Islands. Because you grow them, you grow one, and soon you will have a little orchard. And if you want, they just keep growing out there. You just make sure you control them. But in the end, you end up with an orchard. And they just both provide food, and it's nutritious food. They provide shelter. They provide, you know, against you find in shade in Samoa, and I'm sure in the other, every household has breadfruit all around it. So it's food. Every day you see people using it. And then they provide shade and when it gets very hot. In the meeting places what you call Malaya, you know, where the people usually make their big meetings, they provide the shade for the speakers who call and talk. So as I said, they're written into our history, our culture, our language, everything we do because of, as I said, the tree of life. So it was only a matter of time, I think, before we face challenges to do with food security, that I think we've started looking again. Just get some new comments coming, and then I'll end my few remarks and allow Kyle to take over. So with those few remarks, I'd like again to welcome not only our very special guests here, but also the ones who are with us on the internet. Thank you very much, Scott.
Thank you very much, Chairman, for those welcome remarks. And again, thank you to all of those who are joining online. I'm just going to share briefly what the FORI project is doing in the Pacific. I hope online you can see my screen. The acronym FORI, which is what is a global project, stands for Farmer Organizations Leading Research and Innovation on Agroecology for Sustainable Food Systems. And it is a global project with funding from the European Union through the Organization of Africa, Caribbean, and the Pacific. And it is implemented through AgriCord. And in the Pacific, our program is called Farmer Innovation for Sustainable Breadfruit Value Chains in the Pacific. And we are giving it a short term, the Pacific Breadfruit Project, implemented through Pacific farmer organizations. So I'd just like to share a little bit about what this project will do and who it will involve. Next slide, please. So all 12 PIFON member countries across the Pacific will benefit from the project through information sharing and advocacy work channeled through our Breadfruit People. And if you're wondering what Breadfruit People is, I'm going to share a short video explaining to you about our broad network of Breadfruit People across the Pacific and beyond. But direct implementation of the action research activities will focus in 5 countries: Fiji, Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea, Tonga, and Cook Islands. And these countries were identified through a co-design phase dating back more than 12 months now. Next slide. The project will be implemented through a lead farmer organization in each country. From the outset, the project is aiming to secure additional resources to expand action research activities to additional countries. So we see a good platform being established to be able to go beyond 5 countries within the life of this project. Next slide. The funding resources available are 1.6 million euros over the 4 years of the project. And important is that 70% of this will be transferred directly to the 5 implementing countries, the lead farmer organizations, for research on the ground. And 30% of the resources will be kept for regional activities and regional coordination. Next slide. So what are we going to do in this project? So like every project, we have a series of components. Component 1 deals with advocacy and lobbying. And this is a small but important aspect of the project that will begin from year 2. And this is really focusing on strengthening farmer organizations' ability to raise their voice in national and regional levels, and particularly to engage in research processes. So engaging with national governments, with regional research organizations to bring forward the priorities, and with a specific focus on breadfruit and breadfruit agroforestry systems. Next slide. The kind of activities you could expect. Influencing policy through our breadfruit festivals, which provides an opportunity to showcase the value of breadfruit from a cultural, food security, and economic perspective. Also, providing digital policy toolkits, whereby farmer organizations, private sector have access to policy briefs, promotional materials, and awareness materials to be able to raise the profile of this underutilized crop called breadfruit. And as I mentioned, Breadfruit People as our regional network, which we will be using as the main vehicle for transferring information to the wide community. Next slide, please. Component 2. Component 2 deals with our knowledge management and capitalization. And this is really where we hope to refine the farmer organization's ability to research topics, facilitate training, upgrading in technical skills, and of course, convening the very important training and research forums. What kind of things can you expect under Component 2? We have our regional innovation clusters, where the various farmer organization and research partners can come together to share experiences, promoting farmer-to-farmer exchanges, and supporting technical advice and capacity building at the regional level. And Component 3 provides the overall coordination for the project, and particularly providing the visibility, communication, M&E, and knowledge management. Next slide. What can you expect? These are where we conduct our program coordination, the capturing of good lessons and stories. This comes under that Component 3. And last, and certainly not least, is Component 4, which is the real action research. And under this project, farmer-led research is the priority. And this component allows farmers to be at the center of identifying the innovations and partnering in the implementation of farmer-led research. So this is where the bulk of the resources go. And next slide, please. And almost all of the action research is happening at the country level through the formation of innovation clusters, where farm organizations are partnering with governments, partnering with research partners and private sector to identify the innovations through value chain analysis to ensure that interventions are being made in the appropriate places, and prioritizing the investment finally to implement the action research. So we are very excited for the program, the Pacific Breadfruit Project, and we're very excited to have the support of such a great variety of partners. Especially like to thank the European Union and the OACP, and of course AgriCord for putting their faith in Pacific farm organizations to implement this project. And now I would like to just share a very short video to give those of you who are not familiar with breadfruit a little bit of a glimpse of why it's so important in the Pacific, and also to be able to introduce you to Breadfruit People, which is the vehicle or the platform by which we hope to share not only the findings of this project, but so many other exciting activities that are happening around the region. So we will try and share this 3-minute video about Breadfruit People. So I think we're having a few technical difficulties. I hope that the online participants are still joining us, but we've lost our video feed from this side. But probably to prevent any delays, I'd like to invite up Mr. Minoru Nishi, who is the managing director of Nishi Trading, and is the vice chairman of PIFON, a farmer, processor, and exporter in the Kingdom of Tonga, to share a little bit about his perspective on the FORI project. So we'll invite Minoru. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A special welcome to Alejandra Matos Lopez and, of course, Saki Satupuna from IFAD. This is a very special moment for our family of the farmer organization in the Pacific. I stand before you today to represent our organizations in the Pacific regarding this initiative. It's an important one. Why? Because often research is done without consultation with farmers on the ground, the people who grow the food that feed the world. And today, and for a very long time, waiting for this day to come is exciting for all of us. A lot of the research that get done, it does not get disseminated. And we've seen this time and time again. And to be at the forefront and at the table of the discussions, at the steering wheel to determine our road or what we do with our food, is one that's exciting for us. So as a board member, and coming from Tonga, where we do a lot of work, it's not shared enough. And in the region, there's a lot of work being done in the breadfruit, but they're all isolated or disconnected, and there's a lot of gaps. What this project will do will connect all of us together. It'll fill the gaps. It'll allow us to take a stock of what we're doing in our respective countries and put resources where they're needed. Some are already processing flour. Some are processing frozen, other dried products. Some are only just starting. So the partnerships through this research project is going to be important for us, especially when we form partnerships with research institutions. The Breadfruit Institute in Hawaii, for example, they have a lot of technical support and expertise that they can share with us in the Pacific. One of the strengths that we have as Pacific Island farm organizations and our members is our networking, our sharing of information. but this is going to take us to another level. And I hope that our respective governments in the region will sit up and listen and take stock of what we're doing and hopefully put some more resources to help us continue this work. Research is only the beginning of what we're going to do. The results of the research will tell us the next steps and whether we put resources in Vanuatu or Solomon Islands in terms of technical or infrastructure. So it's going to be important for us, and I'm very excited that we've got partners that are willing to support the initiative that we're doing, such as the EU and IFAD. And we have a strong Secretariat office here, and we're very fortunate to have a strong team to lead us through this work in the Pacific. And I hope one day that we can sit here and say that the breadfruit has become the Irish potato of Europe. You know, this is a nutritious food that we have for our people, and we want the world to know about it. And so hopefully in the next 4 years, the results of this will lead us to more implementation activities for our people in the Pacific. So I'd like to say thank you for the opportunity and the support from the EU delegation and IFAD, AgriCord, and I look forward to the work that's about to start. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minoru. It's now my pleasure to invite up Mr. Alejandro Lopez from he's the program manager for agriculture, the delegation of the European Union for the Pacific Islands, to facilitate the launch of our project and provide some opening remarks. So please take the floor.
Thank you, Kate. So Regional Coordinator for the Pacific for IFAD, Mr. Sakyusa Tubuna, Secretary General of the Organization of ACP States, Expresión Oliveira Gomez, CEO of AgriCord, Alessia Masumara, Chairman of the Pacific Island Farmer Organization Network, Afamasaga Toelofa, Board Member of the PIFON, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to be here today on the launch of the Farmer Innovation for Sustainable Breadfruit Value Chain in the Pacific. Also call it, well, I will call it Pacific FORI to abbreviate the name. The conventional agriculture practices have so their limits. They result in land degradation, forest and biodiversity loss, and climate instability. Agroecological sustainable practices are so as a unique approach to cope with climate instability and met significant increase in food needs. Will research and innovation are key elements to contribute to transition to agroecological production and sustainable food system. The smallholder farmers are permanent innovators and facing challenge to respond to short-term shock and long-term risk, such as the climate change. That's why the target group of this Pacific FORI are smallholders in the and families in Fiji, Tonga, Solomon Island, and Samoa. We share common value related to promotion of family farming. The European Union strong belief in this type of farming, as it is a key of for rural economies, as well as lead on transition to sustainable food system that meets society expectation. Therefore, in line with the European Green Deal, the main goal of this action is to secure a transition toward resilient, productive, and sustainable agroecological food system through farmer-led innovation and research. Evidence suggests that farmers and their organization are able to successfully spread research and innovation initiative where they have the right tools. The farmer organization in the Pacific are increasingly taking an active part in the rural economy development, taking the challenge of reducing rural poverty, improving food security and nutrition, securing and improving access to development opportunities for small and deepening engagement in agricultural value chain. The Pacific FORI project supports these farmer organizations to strengthen their advocacy capacity and further enhance their capacities to design and implement a farmer-led initiative action research approach to build and local knowledge and experience and promote functional partnership between farmer organization, research, and other relevant stakeholders at the national and local level. Farmer representation is crucial for sustainability of the agriculture sector, and PFON play a key role representing the interests of small farmer families in the Pacific, especially women and youth. This project is part of a broader program between the European Union and the African and Caribbean Pacific states, so-called the Farmer Organization Leading Research and Innovation on Agroecology and for Sustainable Food System, the FORI. The total cost of the worldwide program is 10.4 million euros, and the contribution of the European Union is 9.8 million. The FORI project at the Pacific region was a total of 1.7 million euros. Please allow me to wish all the best to the Pacific FORI project, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Alejandro, for and the support of the delegation of the EU here in Fiji. And it's great to be able to meet face to face. Our next presenter, unfortunately, is having some technical difficulties. So the Secretary General of the OACP, Scipion Gomez, unfortunately was supposed to provide some remarks, but we are not able to log in. There's a Zoom link problem. So we hope that we can hear from the OACP, the Organization of Africa, Caribbean, and the Pacific, that is been supporting the design of this project and the resources, and have been a great partner to Pacific farm organizations. Next, I'd like to introduce the CEO of AgriCord. And AgriCord is a new partner for Pacific farm organizations, and we're very pleased that they have chosen to partner with us in the implementation of FORI. And I hope that the system will allow us to hear from the AgriCord CEO, Mrs. Alyssa Musumara. So Alyssa, if you can hear us, we'd now like to hand the floor over to you.
Thank you, Kyle. Yes, I can hear you. I hope you can also hear me. Okay. I cannot activate my video, but it's okay for me. So first of all, good afternoon. Thanks again for inviting me. I'm really happy to attend this launch event. It's a pity that I can only do online, and I truly hope next time to be with all of you. So maybe just a couple of words about AgriCord and who we are. So AgriCord is an alliance of agri-agencies mandated by farmer organizations and their cooperative business from countries in the European Union, Canada, Africa, Asia, and Latin America. We are a living network of committed people and organizations, and we are closely connecting with family farmers at the local and global level. The main mission of this alliance is to help to build other farmer organizations and cooperative of family farmers through a farmer organization to farmer organization approach, but also through a farmer organization network approach in the long term and in a structural way. A world with a productive family farm sector that it's able to feed the world can only be attained by investing in agriculture and by giving farmers a full participation in the design and implementation of their development path. But we know that the growing pressure of climate change and population growth make the need for sustainable agriculture solution even more pronounced in certain regions of the world, and as this is the case of the Pacific. FORI is a global program. We heard a bit more before about what it's going to do and how it's going to be implemented. It's taking into account these challenges, promoting sustainable agriculture and supporting agroecological practices and action to build climate resilient agriculture. This will ensure value addition and diversification, and so to improve also the livelihoods, expand income and create decent employment. We are really proud to facilitate this program to join these global forces for the agroecological transition within local context, consequently influencing the regional policy framework and ultimately contributing to the global answer to climate change and sustainable food system. In addition, thanks to this program, producer, processor, and exporter, particularly the smallholders, will increase opportunity to access markets, including through improved agricultural extension support, rural infrastructure, and access to finance. The program is also reflecting the partnership between the European Union, OSCP member, but also with farmer organization and agri-agency, allowing to take active measures for addressing the above mentioned challenges, with farmers in the driving seat for research and innovation. In the Pacific, the Action Research Project focuses on breadfruit trees, one of the highest yielding food plants known. AgriCord will in particular support PFON through capacity building activities in creation of innovation clusters to collaborate for the common goal of developing agroecological breadfruit, adding marketing value chains using a farmer-led innovation framework. With FORI, we are also looking forward to leverage existing initiatives, and that was also presented before, that PFON has developed, such as the virtual platform of the breadfruit people that was triggered by the COVID pandemic and founded by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, Asia Pacific Farmer Program, and the Farmer Organization for Africa, Caribbean, and Pacific Program. So thanks again for inviting me. It was really a pleasure, and I wish a lot of success in this program together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alyssa, for sharing those remarks, and we're looking forward to our partnership with AgriCord. We're just going to make one more attempt to introduce everyone to breadfruit and the breadfruit people. So hopefully the technology works for us. Okay, thank you. I hope the audio worked for those online, and I hope that short video provided a little bit of an introduction to breadfruit people. And as Alisa said, we began this network during COVID, and we've been exploring all kinds of great virtual tools. And I was just looking online at some of the participants in this Zoom webinar, and indeed we have people joining from all over the Pacific, and our research partners and at the Pacific Breadfruit Institute and the University of Hawaii, and even from the Caribbean. So before I hand it over to Ms. Serenia Mandingibuli for some closing remarks, I just want to let all of you know, if you'd like to continue to track this program and all of the programs that are being done through the Breadfruit People, subscribe to our newsletter on breadfruitpeople.com, follow us on Facebook, and we will use this as the main vehicle for continuing to disseminate information. But once again, I'd like to thank all of those who are joining us online and in person. It's great to see farmer organization representatives here from Solomon Islands, from Fiji, from Vanuatu, Tonga, and Samoa. So we welcome everyone here in person, as with those online. Just to conclude our opening ceremony, I'd like to invite up our board member and our resource coordinator from the Tutu Rural Training Center to give a vote of thanks and some closing remarks.
Thank you, Kyle. Okay, no more long words. Mr. Alejandro Lopez, Program Manager for EU, Mr. Sakis Tumbona, Country Representative for IFAD, Olivia Gomez, Secretary General of OACP, and Alicia Gushmara, Executive Officer for AgriCord. Just on behalf of the PFON Board, Secretariat and Management, and also the representative of the farmer organizations who are present this afternoon, I'd like to express a few words of thanks to you who have been accepting of our partnership in moving forward this project of FORI. And especially Mr. Sakis Tumbona and Mr. Lopez for taking the time to be present face to face. And as we said in our meeting this afternoon, Zoom is very important, but doesn't beat the face-to-face meeting where we can spend time. And it's been a joy for us, board, to be talking with you and sharing our own experiences with you, and also thanking you for this opportunity in partnering with us. We want to move forward on this project. So without further ado, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Serenia. I think we have a way to hear from the OACP. So we'll see if we can give the floor to Yvonne to share a little bit on behalf of the OACP.
Bula, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Thank you so much.
Yes. Sincere apologies for our Assistant Secretary General, Esipian, who was unable to join. He is actually in the Pacific in the Caribbean right now, and I think it's around midnight, and he was really looking forward to joining this session. But I mean, technology happens when we have such times. So just to first recognize the presence of the representatives from the EU, from IFAD, the board of directors for PFON, AgriCord, and basically to just say that we are happy to be associated with this launch. We take this launch as a domestication of the FORI program, which was designed in collaboration with the European Union. We are happy from the presentations that were made today that the Pacific has actually identified the priority activities that would be implemented to support and empower actors along the value chain. We are very happy with this because FORI, as has been mentioned, is one of the components of the program that we are implementing, which is called the Framework Program on Agriculture Value Chains. And basically, this program tries to see how we can empower actors along the value chain, including farmers. It has 3 components: capacity building, finance, and a component that looks at mitigating COVID-19 measures. And so FORI actually falls under the 3rd component, and we do believe that it will basically contribute to capacity building and also addressing the challenges that the farmers have faced after the COVID-19 pandemic. We have taken very good note, and we've been following the discussion on the breadfruit. We have noted that the breadfruit is very, very important, especially in terms of nutrition, its impact on climate change and on value addition. And as OACPS, we can pledge that we will work with you as we push a breadfruit to become the Irish potato within the Pacific. So definitely we'll support you in that venture. As OACPS, we know that with PFON, and again, I would like to actually thank PFON for organizing this meeting. We have been working with you on the Farmer Organization for ACP program, which is another program which we're implementing together with the European Union. And we would like to see synergies built between FORI and the Farmer Organization of ACP program, because basically the 2 programs are focusing on enhancing and developing capacity building for the farmers. So with those few remarks, I just want to say thank you very much for inviting the OSPS to be part of this event. And please be rest assured that we will work with you and we will support you as you implement this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. It's always great to hear the support that you and the OACP provide. And indeed, there are a lot of opportunities to create synergies between FO for ACP and the new FORI project. And both of them put farmers and farmer organizations at the center of development, at the center of implementation. And for that modality, we're very, very thankful. And I think we've already had the vote of thanks. So I'm going to take the liberty now to close this official launch of the FORI project. Unfortunately, those of you joining us online won't be able to join the cocktail, which will be just happening just outside over here. But thank you for joining us from all over the world. And we look forward to partnering with you and sharing more information on this project in the months to come. So, Vinaka Vakalevu.